Here comes Tom. Tom actually had a bit of a go at me at the break about having a go at people being ugly, and we talked about how precious people are about it. And it reminded me of, it was one of our previous speakers, Coves, Ian Cover, and he said, I remember him saying that research has been done on ugliness. You know, there was a big study done on it, and the findings were that 1 in 3 people in the world is ugly. Did you know that, Tom? 1 in 3. So what I want you everyone to do is look at the person to the right of you. Right? Okay, have a good look. Now look at the person to the left of you. All right, are you all doing that? Now listen here, folks. If both of those people are okay, it's you, okay? You're the one. I hate to break it to you, it's probably a bad way to start the day, but you're the one. I feel we're in for a big treat this morning, as I've seen Tom O'Toole present before. We've been running these breakfasts now for, I think, about 13 or 14 years, and Tom O'Toole was the very first speaker we ever had. And I got him along here because I'd heard a lot about how great he was. I'd seen him before, so he was the very first one, and it was a sellout. We had 450 people at the very first breakfast we ever had, and then we brought him back the second time, and this is the third time. So he's the only speaker we've ever had here 3 times. We leave it a few years, but we need our fix of Tom O'Toole, so we bring him back every now and then just for fun. There are motivational coaches and marketing gurus everywhere, but there's only one Tom O'Toole. This always happens. He kicks me off the stage. Before I have a chance to introduce him, he kicks me off. Righto.
Oh, thank you. Look, I am a baker. I'll put my bloody hat on. I am a baker. And it makes me look... Mate, I've got to get rid of this bloody tie. I might... Gee. Jeez. Holy moly, I am a baker. Look, that's where I do my best work, in a bakehouse. I am no big-time businessman. I'm no bloody guru. In fact, I'm a kindergarten dropout. I failed kindergarten, and bloody Alistair's got me along here and his bloody team. Look, today you take what you want and leave the rest. I have not got all the answers. My business is far from perfect, And look, if I upset anybody today, if I'm politically incorrect, or I happen to swear... Look, I apologise. I'm sorry. Pray for me. Don't sit there getting bloody upset. Pray for me. Look, I'm a baker. That's my comfort zone. I have a front door. I am in business, and it's far from perfect. So what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about customer service, and I'm going to talk about keep in touch with your dreams. Now, I had a dream. I wanted to be rich. Now, look, I was brought up in poverty. Anyone who'll tell you that it's spiritual living in poverty, it's bullshit. There's nothing spiritual about living in poverty. Much more spiritual about to employ people and put food on the table. Anyway, I started school and I met my first dream taker. They told me it was a sin to be rich. Today it's a miracle, but I believe in miracles. I rely on bloody thing. I did fail kindergarten. I hung around in primary school until I got too big for the desk, and they had to send me to high school. Now, my younger brother, he'd already gone to high school. That's pretty embarrassing, isn't it? Your younger brother going to go. Anyway, I got to high school, and they said to me, Tom, what can you do? I said, I can daydream. I got A's in daydreaming. They didn't put on my report or nothing. But when I left school at 14, I didn't know the ABC or times table. I still do not know the ABC or times table today. But you know, I thought I met a lot of dream takers at school, but I went into my first business, a bakery, when I was 21 in Yarrawonga. And I started to meet a lot of real dream takers, like bank managers and accountants. A few of them buggers here today. Not she owns her own bank. How about fantasy, that one? Hey, God almighty. But I thought I met a lot of dream takers. Yeah, but there's lots of dream takers out there who'll tell you it can't be done. And sometimes we're married to them too. Don't let anyone steal your day. Don't let anyone steal your day. Keep in touch with your dream. Beechworth, where the bloody hell's Beechworth? Beechworth's on a road to nowhere. If you're going to Beechworth, you're going out. I was in Christchurch last Wednesday talking in oh God, the week before I was in Indonesia. I had a hell of a time trying to tell them where bloody Beechworth was. 3 hours from Melbourne, up near Albury Wodonga, on a road to nowhere. Look, population 3,257 people, and we are credited with having the highest sales for any standalone retail bakery in Australia. There's a couple others doing better, but the taxation department doesn't know about it. But Beechworth was very famous for its lunatic asylum and Ned Kelly in the jar. You know, when I went there 28 years ago, you didn't say, I'm going for a drive to Beechworth, because if you were, you're going to visit your mad auntie or somebody else locked up. It was a government town, it was an institution town, and it was dying. That was my shop 28 years ago. That was the state of most of the shops in Beechworth 28 years. You know, when I went there, the bank manager said, Tom, you're bloody mad, this town dying, we going. And the bank went, and my accountant come over from Perth. I'd been in a business over there in a bakery, and he was horrified. He said, Tom, you're overcapitalised in a town that's dying. You're bloody mad. Today they think I'm a guru, but 28 years ago. You know, when I bought the place, it employed 2 part-time people. Neither of them on the books. Today about 70, 75 full and part-time. But you know, when I bought it, it was falling down, it was mouse infested, it was rat infested, it even had this friendly possum that lived in the bakehouse. Now we get this bloody possum and we take it out in the bush. And 2 days later you'd walk in and this possum would be sitting on the bench eating all the pasty vegetables. We couldn't get rid of the possum until the Chinese restaurant opened up down the road. That was the end of the bloody possum. Truly, we don't have any stray cats, dog, nothing around the bloody place. You know, 28 years ago when I went there, if you seen a car parked on the street on Sunday morning, you wondered who got locked up, you know, or who got laid, you know. Today, you're lucky to get a bloody park there today. Today, it's a very vibrant tourist town, and the Beechworth Bakery and Tom O'Toole gets a lot of the credit, but we were just there at the right time. Today, we have 6 bakeries today. We have one in Bendigo. People said, how can you have a bloody Beechworth Bakery in Bendigo? Well, we have a bloody Bendigo bank in Beechworth, but, we have one in Echuca, Beechworth Bakery, Hillsville, Ballarat and Albury, and this last financial year, when we took that business on, 28, turning over 100,000 turnover a year, and this year in excess of 14 million cash over the counter. You know, and our product is no different than anybody else. Our product is no different. I see Brian Callaghan down there, the buddy from Wild Ollie. He reckons his product leaves mine for dead, but he does too. It does. Don't worry. You know, it's our people. It's our people. It's our people that make the difference. It's our people and our brand. And 10,000 other bloody things. You know, every week we have business people checking out our business to see why people are desperate to give us money. This crowd are from South Africa. And they say to me, Tom, how come these buggers are desperate? How come these buggers are desperate to give you money? What do you do? What do you do? I says, well, we do a lot of training. They said, but what if you train them and they leave? And I said, what if you don't train them and they stay? And that's what lots of us do. That's what lots of us do in small business. We don't train them and the buggers stay. And they say, oh, yeah, it's all right for you, Tom. You've got the time. You've got the money. It's not lack of time. It's not lack of money. It is lack of focus. It is lack of priority. You know, what you think about expands. If you're thinking lack of time, lack of money, lack of opportunity, that's what you're going to get. What, you know, SHIT, simply how I think. You got to think positive and work hard and work. Don't think lack of. SHIT, simply how I think. You got to think positive. You got to think. Don't think lack of. God, don't think lack of. Oh, in every disaster lies an opportunity. There was a disaster in March 28 years ago. I bought this business and I was going to build a little storeroom out the back of the bakery. We started to dig the footings. We hit an old cellar, had to dig this cellar out, cost me a bloody fortune, 3 truckloads of cement. And the builder said to me, Tom, if you ever got to go 2 stories or 6 stories, the footings are there. Well, luckily today, it's all 2 stories. And every disaster lies an opportunity. There's a disaster, not my 2 little daughters, but in June 28 years ago, June, a few months after March, 28 years ago, my wife left me with the kids. And when my wife left me, I fell madly in love with her. We often do some of our staff sometimes. Shit, they weren't that bad after all, Here I was, age 32, the arse out of me brains, wanting to die. I felt a fay. I tell you what, if you've ever stuck a loaded gun in your mouth, they're very cold and oily. Nothing like a sausage roll. I was low in the footprint. I wanted to die. I didn't think I had to live for them. I had 2 beautiful daughters. My wife had left me with the kids. She'd ran off with this big Fijian. I had no bloody hope. Anyway, somebody said to me, Tom, you're going to have to grow up. I was, shit, what do I do with the little buggers? So I went across to see Graham Bailey, the solicitor across the road from the bakery. I said, Graham, I need help. And he rang up the lunatic asylum. I said, no, you don't understand. She's got the credit cards. But he wanted me to go up the asylum for a bit of holiday. But I wasn't going up there because they had that song out. They're coming to take you away. Ha ha, they're coming to... You get a song stuck in your head. So he got me to a counsellor with Lifeline in Albury, Wodonga. I tell you what, if you're ever suicidal, don't ring up Lifeline. The buggers won't get off the phone. I would not be here today if it wasn't for Lifeline. Anyway, I got down to see this councillor, Jenny Willis, and she said to me, Tom, where have you been? How long you been there? And where are you going? I said, I'm going bloody mad. I'm going mad, you silly bloody woman. That's why I'm seeing you. She said, where do you want to be then? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Shit, I didn't know where I wanted to be in 5 years' time. I was too busy doing it. I didn't have a bloody clue where I wanted to be. She said to me, Tom, you've got to get honest with yourself. I said, I'll go broke. She said, no, you've got to get honest with yourself. I didn't know what she meant. Here I was at age 32. I had to do the biggest investment of my life. I had to start investing in me. I had to go to seminars. I had to learn to talk to people. I had to learn to read books. I had to learn to work on my business as well as in my business. This councillor, Jenny, said to me, Tom, when do you find it most difficult? I said, at 6 o'clock. She said, what are you doing at 6 o'clock? I said, I'm trying to get the kids their dinner and I'm trying to watch the news and the kids make noise. I get so angry, so upset. She said, well, stop watching the news. Well, I had to watch the news, She said, Tom, stop watching the news. So I stopped watching the news 28 years ago. If I happen to see the news today, it's the same bloody news I was watching 28 years. It's the same rapes, wars, murders, crashes, smashes, El Nemo, petrol prices, interest, all this doom and gloom. You know, if somebody come into your lounge room and crapped on your lounge room floor, you'd either ring the police or you belt them. Yet here we are, let the idiot box full of lounge room full of the shit. You know, you become what you study. Study happiness, study wealth, study success. Don't study doom and gloom and lack. And every disaster, that was the biggest disaster of my life, my wife leaving me. Also, it was the best thing that ever happened. I didn't think so at the time, but I got a newer model. Talk about every disaster. In the late 90s, the government announced they were closing the lunatic asylum in Beechworth. Well, it was called Mayday Hills Hospital, but you didn't go there for ingrown toenails, I can tell you. And they shut the asylum, and we lost hundreds of jobs. So we got into tourism in a big way. And our first Harvest Festival, 16 years ago, we had 1,500 people. Last year at our Harvest Festival, we had thousands of the buggers, thousands. Yet I heard the same comments, or some of the shopkeepers, same comments this year as I did last year, as I did the year before, nearly word for word. Oh, the buggers don't spend any money in my shop. All they're doing is making a bloody mess, taking me car spaces, blocking me driveway. I'm sure God looks at them and says, here, give yourself something else to bitch about, you buggers. They love it. They wallow in it. Honestly, it is so easy to be negative. Requires no bloody effort at all. But to be positive, you've got to get off your bum and have a go. I hear people saying, but Tom, it's hard. You reckon it's hard? Go to Bangladesh, go to Bosnia, go to East Timor. I was over in East Timor in January. I stayed in a convent for 10 days. Nearly got in a couple of bad habits, but I was a bit slow. But anyway, yeah, we live in the luckiest country in the world, and I hear people saying it's hard. I don't see boatloads of people leaving Australia heading to Bolivia. People said to me, oh, Tom, you don't understand, Tom. You don't understand. I'm having a bad day. You reckon you're having a bad day? Try missing one. You're dead. Bloody oath, any day above ground's a good one. Be grateful you woke up this morning. A lot of buggers didn't look like a couple over there. And anyway, have an attitude of gratitude. Have an attitude. It is so easy to be negative. So I was asked to go to East Timor to set up a bakery 3 years ago, and I asked me two mates, Graham Heaven and Ralph Blair, to go over. That's not the bakery we set up, but and we've been over there 3 times, and they're keen to learn. The nuns and Graham and Ralph, and when we left last year, was doing 150 rolls a day. This year we get back in January doing in excess of 2,000 bread rolls a day. We don't even do that a week in Beechworth. And they're keen to learn. They're keen to learn. And the nuns opened up a bakery out the front of the convent in December, and today that's supporting 2 orphanages. But 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, I was in Uganda. I was asked to set up a bakery. I am no bloody saint. Don't you ask me to do no. I'm saying no. I've learned to say no. I was asked to set up a bakery in Uganda. And I asked Ralph and Graham, bullshit, we're not going to Uganda. Anyway, they ended up coming to Uganda. Now, Uganda was very, very hard. And there was a wood-fired oven. But we ended up producing bread, Graham and Ralph. Graham's a happy-looking one in the middle. and and that's supporting, supposed to support 2 orphanage. And now they've got to run it to make a profit. It's some charity, some church group, a very heavy church over there. But anyway, so pray for me if ever I've upset anyone. Pray for me. And 80 orphans in this one, and that's the kitchen that feeds 80 orphans. Be bloody grateful that you live in Australia. I tell you, have an attitude of gratitude. Be grateful you don't live in bloody Uganda. I can tell you, have an attitude of gratitude. Oh, look at that, 200 pies. I said, Adam, you're not doing 200 pies. You're doing one. Everyone's a customer. I'll come in. I said, would you like your mother to buy that one? He'll say no. And I said, oh, bloody hell, then don't expect anyone else's mother to buy it then. All my staff are empowered. If they would not buy it themselves, they're not to sell it. I come in some days and they're chucking all this food in the bin. I think, gee, I'd sell it. I'd ice over the burnt bits. I'd cut them off. Geez, I've got to go home again. I can only grow my business one pasty, one pie, one donut at a time. Everyone's a customer. If you wouldn't buy it, don't sell it. How bloody, I'm as thick as a brick. Today my business today runs on a management structure instead of a dictatorship. Now, dictatorships made me a lot of money. I love dictatorships. I know they're in a bit of trouble at the moment, but today it runs on a management structure. They'll have these business meetings. They don't often tell me when they're having them. And I'll come in. I said, what are these figures about? Look at all this. What's this? What? Tom, you don't understand, Tom. You're as thick as a brick, Tom. You're thick as 2 bricks. You don't understand. Tom, the council's been building a roundabout. We have a roundabout in Beechworth. Them roundabout. You have heaps of the bastards around here. But anyway, we have a roundabout. And the road's been blocked, Tom, for 2.5 weeks. 2.5. Tom, the supermarket's selling bread for $1 a loaf. $1. It's too hot, Tom. It's too hot for pies. It's too hot for cream cake. It's too hot. Bullshit. Anytime I got problems in my business, it's always within my 4 walls. But it's so easy to look out there and blame the council, blame head office, blame the government, blame Alistair, blame Julia. I'll look out there, bloody hell. And I'll look out there too, because I don't feel responsible. Anytime I got problems in my... I tell you what, if I ever want to find the biggest problem in my business, all I got to do is look in the mirror and I'll find the biggest problem that I'm ever going to have to work with, staring me in the face. Much easier to look out there and blame some other bugger, though. I look at that, behind every successful man, there's a surprise mother-in-law. I do. A couple of years later, got another hostage. Happily married today, one day at a time. At 4:30 this morning, it wasn't it, but... hopefully she turns up later. She's coming later. I'm not coming along. She's over in Christchurch and she couldn't get over. I'm stuck with you, Christchurch last week. I've had enough of you. Anyway, happily married. My wife's my biggest asset. Also my biggest liability. That's your biggest business. That's your biggest bloody business risk you'll ever see. Don't worry about the bloody competition. That's it. Half your money goes. Bloody oath. That's your beer. I always hold my wife's hand. If I let go, she goes shopping. Adios. Tell them you love them. You might think it's funny. My first wife pissed off the Fijian. Tell them you love them. I tell you what, biggest business risk. You might think it's funny. Pray for me. If you're upset there, pray for me. It's not my fault. I wasn't asked. But anyway, my wife and I, we travel a lot. She was in Christchurch last week. Didn't go to Indonesia. She said, oh, Tom, I've had enough of you. But she come down today, which was very rare. That Jason, he put us up in that beautiful luxury. And she said, well, I'll come down. She said, I'm not going to, oh, thank God I wasn't stuck up in them luxury apartments all by myself. I might have got into trouble. But anyway, my wife and I, we're in Italy, in Rome, in November on Costa Cruise. We left from Rome. Luckily, we had a different captain. We're going to North Lake Island in 4 weeks' time. So we travel a lot. But this trip here, we're travelling Bangkok. We're travelling business class, and the kids are down the back where they belong. And when you travel business class going overseas, they give you a drink of champagne or orange juice or water before you even leave the tarmac. That's about the only time my wife smiled. Now, my wife's very placid, very quiet, never complains, but she was not happy. It was a trip from hell, and she was not. And I had to sit with her the next 8 or 10 hours. It was not good. And she said to me, Tom, I'm never travelling on this airline ever again. She was not happy. Went out to see the kids down the back, and they said, what are you talking about? Bad service. You couldn't wish for better service. You guys are up yourself. Here we are all on the same plane. They had a great air crew. We had a lousy one. It's all about people. It's all about people. Rule 1, take care of the customer. Rule 2, take care of the customer. Rule 3, take care of the customer. Just love them, and they might love you back. Your happy customers come back. How profound, I'm as thick as a brick, but happy. Give them a bloody reason to come back. Give them I'm happy customers come back. How profound is that? How profound, bloody hell. Oh, look at that, desperate to give me money, desperate to give me money. Bloody oath, I'm in business to make money. I'm not embarrassed about it. Money gives me choices. Money gives me options. You try and run a couple of bloody orphanages. You try to run a church, some of you bloody guys, pray for me. You try to run a church without any money. I tell my business, I'm in business to make better. Our business is totally cash, totally cash. We don't do any wholesale. We do take credit cards, but we don't do any wholesale. If anyone wants 20% discount, I want to cut out 20% of the ingredients. Doesn't taste real bloody good either, you know, but when you haven't got an education, you can get away. People say to me, oh, Tom, money's not that important. You reckon money's not bloody important? Try missing a couple of car payments, see how bloody... You go and see the banker here, see how bloody important it is, I tell you what. Yeah, but I tell you what, our business is far from perfect. Often you can't get to the counter. It's far from perfect. Oh, she nicked off. She couldn't handle it. All the buggers desperate to give you money, desperate to give you money. Oh, look at this one. You-eyed Mary, I'll serve. I know the buggers play hide and seek. I know they do. I heard one of my staff say one day, you think they'd have something to eat before they come out. Look, human nature's never changed. All the customer wants you to do is look at me. Oh, bull, can't they see I'm busy? Nick off, let me play with my smartphone, let me play with my computer. Look, I believe business is so simple, most of us miss it. Don't get simple and easy mixed up. You know, we get so tied up in spreadsheets and in flowcharts and in data and statistics, and all the customer wants is look at me, greet me, talk to me, thank me, what should I thank the bug. Doesn't come natural to me. Thank me. So bloody simple, I mean. Oh, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little bit extra. How often can we do that little bit extra and we don't bother? That return phone call, that smile, that thank you. It's the little things. It's the little things that make the big difference. Yet we're all out there looking for that big fix, that magic wand, that bloody rainbow up our... It's the little things. It's the little things that... It's like the bloody racehorse that wins. It gets 10 times more than money. Is it 10 times faster, 50 cents faster, 25? No, it's that tiny little. It's a little. The difference between... Who wants to be known as big ordinary? It's that little bit extra, Oh, there's a little bit extra. Beechworth is the home of Emma George. Up until the Sydney Olympics, the world's woman pole vaulting champion. 17 world records. I was there on a night at the Sydney Olympics when Emma didn't do that little bit extra. You just asked Emma. If you're not doing that little bit extra, you're bloody history. Look at that, only when we continue to raise our goals, first you've got to have some goals and have them wrote down and dated. When I started to write down my goals and date them, changed my life. Dramatically changed my life. You know, do we give ourselves room to grow? Keep lifting that bar. My wife says, why? Why not? Most success and failure in life is where we set that bar. Keep lifting that a little bit extra. Oh, there's a little bit extra. We stick a band on the balcony every Sunday. Now, we never take under $10,000 cash over the counter on a Sunday. Now, we sell lamingtons and meat pies. You know, our average sale's about $8. You know, we've taken $38,000 on Easter Saturday. Well, 35. I had to give a couple back in GST. I like 38 sounds better. But anyway, I was in Uganda, so I didn't worry about it. 35,000 cash over the counter in Beechworth on Easter Saturday. It's that little bit extra, Also, people think, shit, how do you get up there? That little bit extra. We stick a band on there. Oh, there's a little bit extra. We stick Keith in the shop sampling at least once a week. Now, you reckon I talk dribble? This guy leaves me for dead. I have people ringing me up and asking me, when is Keith sampling? Now, they don't want to come and give a bit of bread, a bit of pastry. They want to come in and talk to Keith. I've been in business since I was 21. I know the greatest sickness in this world today is loneliness. My business is about people. You can buy coffee and cake anywhere. Why buy from my place? Because of these buggers. 5% technology, 95% psychology and attitude. Without them, I don't have a bloody show at all. Other people say, oh, my business is different. My business is about price. My business, of course your bloody business is different. You know, I tell you what though, quality and service is long remembered after the price is forgotten. Don't get tied up in bloody price. It's just another excuse you use and you slackers. the customer complaints are the school books from which we learn. I learned nothing at school. They used to say to me, Tom, who discovered Australia? And I'd say, you don't know, do you? And they say, why did you say that? Well, if you knew, you wouldn't ask me. I had a bit of an attitude problem. But anyway, I stuck these customer comments in. I was under the perception that we were doing pretty good. At the time, we were turning over $1.5 million cash over the counter in a little town of 3,000 people. At that time, if you were turning over $1 million, pretty incredible business, we were turning over $1.5 million, stuck these customer comments in, and they stuck it in me. Now, I don't like being told what to do. Don't handle criticism, but these buggers told me how to more than double my business. They told me to put in tables and chairs. No, I said, bloody bull, the buggers will sit there all day drinking bloody coffee, no money in tables and chairs. I can be as good as dream taker as anybody else. Anyway, out of the goodness of my heart, I give them a couple of tables and chairs. And the customers kept writing in, want more tables and chairs, want more tables. Bloody hell, give the buggers something, want more. So I ended up having to take over the premises next door. And the customers kept writing in, want more room, want more. So bloody hell. So I took over the next premises. And that was it. I was limited. I couldn't grow anymore. So I thought. So I know today, the only thing that limits me today is just a little bit between my ears. And I hate using it because it's hard work. This is the only thing that limits me. I didn't think I could grow, and my customers, they told me how to grow my business. They told me to go upstairs. Now, that's a setup, that one. They're all smiling. Now, the dream takers told me nil value upstairs, Tom. Why will you get people upstairs with all these empty shops in the town? We had a lot of empty shops at the time. And I believe the dream takers. They were educated, seen no trouble. But a customer kept writing in, need more room, need more room. In the end, I got the buggers upstairs. I stuck the toilets upstairs. I got the buggers upstairs. Out of the goodness of my heart, I stuck in 2 toilets, one lady, one female. We're a bakery, not a bloody restaurant. And the customers kept writing in, want more toilets, want more. Bloody hell, give the buggers another more. We have these big staff meetings. And the staff are saying, Tom, they want more toilets. I said, bloody bull, I said, no money in toilets. I said, huge amount of toilet paper them ladies use is ridiculous. So we tried them air blowers. You know, I've got to work on them air blower. Bloody hell. We're going to give these air blowers, we're going to patent that and make it, buddy, we got to work. They're going to get Brightons, get into that. They're going to give it a go here. But we write back to every one of our customer comments, and we get lots of these, about 50 a week. We're finding on social media, though, most of these are positive. But on social media, we get quite a few negative ones. But we write back, you've got to keep close to the customer. It looks very different from where the customer's standing. Looks very bloody different. You know, these ones are our customer comments. Now, these ones are in the shop. Now, if I'm getting a lot of bad customer comments, I'll stick them up there. And people think, shit, he'll put my name up there if I write a bad one. So it cuts the bad ones down dramatically. Yeah, but yeah, we write back and thank every one of them people because they could just leave and we would never know why. These people, you've got to have that culture to always see it through the customer's eye. You need that system to always be able to listen to. You've got to keep close. We are very grateful that these people are telling us every day how to get better. You've got to keep close to the customer. Oh, these are our staff meetings. These business people who check out my business. They say to me, Tom, how do you get your staff to a staff meeting? They say to me, Tom, even though I held a staff meeting in my staff's lounge room, they wouldn't turn up. Geez, what do? Well, we give every staff member a bag of lollies, a box of chocolate. So the kids always want mum and dad to go to staff meeting, but they don't give up an evening for a bag of lollies, a box of chocolate. What we do, write an agenda. This is your agenda, a blank bit of paper. We stick it up in the staff room about a week or 10 days before the meeting, and they write up all these issues that I didn't know were issues because we have a week or 10 days to work on. Because I slip a couple of issues that I want brought up, but I've got to write a different way so they don't realise it's me, like... The manager's an imbecile. But anyway, it's their agenda. You know, we all think it's about product. I tell you what, product is important. If you haven't got a good product, shouldn't be in business. But my business is also about people. Everybody needs somebody. And I need the whole bloody lot of them. You know, teamwork works. If you want it to work. You know, we're either pulling together or we're pulling apart. Front of house, head office, back office. You just think of every element of your show pulling together as one. Wow. Nothing that stop you. You know, when we all work together, we all win together. So bloody simple. And that just goes to show with this group. I've never seen a breakfast meeting in this big anywhere in the bloody city. It just goes to show, oh, we're all in this thing together, so let's try and get along. Everyone in my business has to serve the customer. That's what I'm out the back there getting the chook scraps. That's mainly my job. I live in Beechworth. Now that the snow's on the roof, they reckon the fire's gone out. But anyway, I'm out the back there getting the chook scraps, and the girls are yelling out, we need a hand out the front. We got 2 buses, got 3 buses. bus is unannounced. We need a hand. I'm here, my guy. I'm too busy. I got to bake this. I got this order to do. I got to weigh up this. It's not my job anyway. I said, you buggers, if we don't look after the customer, somebody else will. We're all in business to serve the customer. That is the only business I have. I'm in business to serve the customer. I'm a bloody servant, and I love it. And we forget that that is the only business. If I can, long as I can remember that I'm in business to serve the customer, we are going to keep being successful. But we forget. We get so tied up in all this other bloody negativity and all this other bloody... That's the only bit. I'm in business to serve the customer. That's pretty profound, isn't it? But anyway, we do a lot of social functions. We'll hire a bus, take our staff to the movies in Albury. We don't have a movie theatre in Beechworth. We'll hire a bus, take them 10-pin bowling in Wodonga. We did paintball. Oh, they love shooting themselves with paintball. But anyway, God, on the bigger nights, we're getting to bring their partners along. And when you've been working with someone for quite a while, and they bring their partner along, you think, shit, you're married to that. And then next year, don't ask next year. But I tell you what, these people are in charge of first impressions. You won't see me eye-eyed. They're in charge of first impressions. If I want passionate, excited, them and their families are my best marketers. Without them, I don't have a bloody show at all. I don't have it. They and their families are my... If I want passionate, excited, motivated staff, it's got to come from the top. It's got to come from the top. Culture is caught. It's not taught. This is a Queen's birthday weekend. We have a lot of Queens and tarts work at our place. But, it's got to come from the top. Got to come from... I was over in America at a bakery conference. Love bakery conferences. And Anne from a donut shop was up on stage talking about how she had a slumber party, a sleepover for her staff. I said to my wife, we'll have a slumber party. She said, Tom, I think we'll get into trouble with the sleepover. A lot of my bakers have fantasies about flour bags. Anyway, I said, we'll have a pyjama day then. I got all excited about this pyjama. I got it in the paper, I got it in the radio, and about 3 days before the event, my supervisor came up and said, Tom, no one is very happy about this pyjama day. I said, what are you bloody talking about? Got it in the paper, got it in the radio. I said, find out why I'm not happy. She come back and said, why aren't they happy? She said, none of them wear pyjamas. So I went down to Albury. I got a whole bootload of pyjamas. We didn't have a clothes shop in Beechworth. I'd knocked the whole, taken it over and knocked the whole, Anyway, we have many, many wonderful clothes shops in Beechworth today. Many wonderful, beautiful clothes. Anyway, and went down there and I got a whole bootload of pyjamas. And I got a couple of them Captain Snood, like them Willy Winker outfits, and I put one on, and I got skinny white legs, and I'm running around with this outfit, and they thought, the bugger's mad, he's going to do this. Though I didn't go in the shop, though. I didn't explain it to my staff why I wanted to come to work in their pyjamas. They just thought I was kinky. I want them to come to work in their pyjamas because I want them to get out of their comfort zone. It is so easy to go to work in your suits or in your overalls, your whites, your uniform. You try to go to work in pyjamas, really breaks that pattern, really gets you out of your comfort. And on this day, any customer that comes in our shop in their pyjamas gets a free coffee and cake. Now, you'd be surprised what people do for free coffee and cake. Now, I thought this is going to be great, all the sexy negligees and, oh, God almighty, we got a lot of cross-dressers working for us. Now, that customer got more than his money worth. Now, this next guy was adamant that he did not wear pyjamas. I tell you, this guy got me out of my comfort zone, I can tell you. We stuck him out on the table. He got lots of people out of the comfort zone. He really broke the pattern. Them shoes really cracked up a lot of people. Everything you want is just outside your comfort zone. Everything you want is just outside your comfort zone. Everything. Just, I talk about outside of your comfort zone. I was over in Taupo, over in New Zealand, at a bakery conference. Love bakery conference. And we're coming out of Taupo, and about 55 bakers on the bus, mainly all Victorians. And our president of the Victorian Association of Bakers at the time, Ralph Blair, stop the bus. Tom, you're always talking about getting out of your comfort zone. We want to see this. Big sign, bungee jumping, bullshit. And they stopped the bus, and they're all ragging me. Oh, you're full of rubbish, I thought, I'll show you, you buggers. So I went over to buy a ticket. Well, it costs a lot of money to try and kill yourself. And I'm coming back after buying this ticket. And my wife said, what are you doing? You'll lose your teeth. I thought she loved me, and all she's worried about me losing my teeth. Anyway, and I get out there, and they said, count to 1, 2, 3. Bullshit, I had to go, would have wet myself. That's me there. Look, it is so easy to talk the talk. But to walk the talk is much, much, much much more difficult. I have a front door, I am in business, and it's far from perfect. It's far from perfect. Most speakers do not have a real business. I do. It's so easy to talk the talk. But talk about walking the talk, somebody else built this monstrosity, gigantic, humongous bakery in Echuca, a bit over a couple of hours from Beechworth, and they couldn't make it work. And after about 4 years, they were closing the door. And over that 4 years, they'd rang me up a few times and asked me, would I buy it? Oh, boogie, 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 too scary for me. Oh, we live in the land of opportunity. Well, that's some other bugger. But anyway, we ended up buying it. Today it's called Beechworth Bakery, Echuca. I tell you what, the best way to avoid criticism is do nothing, say nothing, be nothing. If I believe that we live in a land of opportunity, I got to walk the talk. People said, Tom, you cannot duplicate what you've done in Beechworth. I don't know whether they said God said that's the square meterage, that's where it's all going to happen in Beechworth. This place will end up beating Beechworth. When we took it on a few years ago, it was turning over 300,000 turnover. Last financial year, in excess of 3 million cash over the counter. You know, when opportunity knocks, get up and answer the door. If you stand still to watch the world go by, it will. You're going to be dead a long time. Get up and answer the bloody door. I talk about the opportunities. We have a shop in Albury in the Myers Centre, and the oven caught fire. The oven nearly burnt. We had 3 fire trucks there, nearly burnt the bloody fire station. But when we reopened after a few days, the girls went out and bought these bloody hats at the toy shop, and they had fire sales. They had red hot deals. They made the best of a bad opportunity. You know, ever since that fire, our figures have just gone straight up, you know, because they took that ownership. Train them. Don't blame them. Train them, bloody. Luckily, Sam knew how to use a fire. If you ever use one of them fire extinguishers, they put shit everywhere. Well, no, but anyway, you know, don't wait until the economic storm has passed. Learn to dance in the rain. There's more opportunities out there than ever before. But I tell you what, if you isolate and sit at home talking to yourself, you're liable to get bad advice. If I'm not getting better, I guarantee my competition will be. Don't wait until the economic storm has learned to dance in the rain. There's more opportunities out there than ever bloody before. We live in a land of opportunity. We live in a land. Oh, we do a lot of corporate hampers. We do many hundreds of them Christmas trees, but we do thousands of handmade Christmas cakes. Now, when we first started to do these Christmas cakes, the dream taker said you can't sell Christmas cakes. Big W give them away. Lions own the market. It's a mature market. I just didn't wake up one morning and say I'm going to have a market for Christmas cakes. I had to get on my bike and pedal like buggery. It is not easy being in business. Never has been, never bloody will be. All things are difficult before it's easy. My job is never going to get any easier. I just got to get better. I got to keep investing in me. I got to get better. I got to keep investing. Yeah, your income will rarely exceed your personal development. I got to get better, because if I ain't getting better, I can guarantee my competition will be. Guarantee. Oh, this is Belinda, our manager at Ballarat, Roger, our sales trainer, and Matt, one of our managers at Hillsville. I seen him yesterday. And last year we went to the Disney Institute in California, in Anaheim. The Disney Institute runs customer service and people management, and behind the scenes with Mickey, you missed out on Minnie. Disney takes you behind the scenes with great, and I graduated from the Disney Institute. I shouldn't say I'm a kindergarten dropout. You know, I have this son, he's doing a PhD, he's a Marine. Look at the boring hat he's got, and look at that, you know, buddy, They also graduated too. You know, people say, oh, my staff are my biggest asset. Well, if they are, invest in them and invest in yourself. You've got to invest in your stuff and invest. I got to keep learning. Yeah, look at that. I shouldn't say I'm a kindergarten dropout. Bloody grateful. Oh, without stress, my life would be empty. Look, there's nothing permanent except change. And you know what? Nothing changes if nothing changes. And before anything will change, I got to change my attitude, my outlook, but I'm waiting for all these buggers out here to get their act here. Doesn't matter what's happening out there. As long as between my ears is okay, it doesn't matter. There's nothing permanent except change. Embrace it or be left behind. You know, you cannot get new results with old habits. Change is essential for growth. You know, change, buddy. Talking about change, I sold a big part of my business to a few of my staff, and I had to buy it back because they weren't hungry enough. But Marty has 25% of the company, and I have 75% of liabilities. You know, One of the hardest things I've ever had to do in small business is to learn to let go and let God, let go and let somebody else have a go. Marty's young, and he's hungry, he's passionate, he's in a hurry, and he doesn't want some grey-haired old bugger in his way. And I said to Marty, I said, well, what's my job? He said, Tom, you're the founder. I said, what does that mean? He said, you're like Colonel Sanders. You're a cardboard cutout figure and you're dead. Marty was my young apprentice. You know, one ship, one captain. People said, how do you pick Marty? He was teachable. He was hungry. He was teachable. You know, business is pretty simple. It's mostly about people. Business is pretty bloody simple. It's mostly about people. And leadership. Dare to lead when you're placed in charge. Take charge. Oh, geez, no, I'm not going to stick my neck out. I'm not going to voice my opinion. Oh, God almighty, what will they think? Dare to lead when you're placed in charge. Take charge. It's the learners. They're the ones who are going to inherit the future. If you finish learning, you're buggered. You finish learning, you're finished. It's a learner. When you're placed in charge, take charge. God almighty. Oh, this is Keith, the guy samples in the shop. He's a retired psych nurse. He looks after me. Keith's been my friend since I was 16. Keith goes out one day a week within 100 kilometres of Beechworth with these coffee vouchers, and I've dropped some out the front actually. He goes out to the motels and B&B. He goes out to Tangbang, Malanga, Yakandana, Barna, Watha, Port Bunker, Wandillagong, Cheshunt, Penally. Anyway, when we first started to do this, the motelier says, well, what do we do with these coffee vouchers? Well, when you get a customer in, shout them a coffee at Beechworth. Well, they're probably not going to Beechworth on the road to nowhere. Well, suggest they do. Look, every bugger is after my dollar. Every service station, every supermarket, the Great Oaks Road, Gold Coast, bloody Wild Holly, every bugger is after my cake. If I just sit on my arse and expect people to give me money, I am silly and I bloody look. I got to get out there and pedal like buggery. Here's Keith in Venice, handing out coffee vouchers. Now, I was in Venice in November. I did not take any coffee voucher. I didn't even take my bloody baker's hat. And I think he's trying to chat up that blonde. Keith and I were going to take this 1930 A model Ford to the tip of Australia. That little 8,000 kilometres up, but 850 kilometres of dirt, corrugations, rivers, sand, four-wheel drive only. The dream taker said, Tom, you will not make it. You will not make it. And we start heading up. To Cape York, and all these good Samaritans kept waving us down. Stop! You guys are psycho. You won't make it. You don't know what's ahead. Then other people would wave us down. Stop. The road gets better. They lied. You know, we made it to the tip of Cape York. You know, keep in touch with your dreams. Don't let anyone steal your day. We met so many dream takers on that trip who told us we wouldn't make it. No, nearly right a few times too. You know, winners must have two things: definite goals and burning desires. Definite goals, not bloody fuzzy goals. Definite. You got that fire in the belly. You got to keep stoking that fire. If you're not feeling the heat from the fire, chuck a couple of logs on. Go to a seminar. Talk to somebody. Winners must have two things: definite goals and set the goals and enjoy the journey. It's got to be fun. If it ain't fun, there's something wrong with what you do. You've got to enjoy the journey. Talk about enjoying the journey. Keith and I were going to take these 2 bathtubs from Albury down to Goolwa in South Australia, over 2,000 kilometres down the Murray River. And people said, why a bathtub? They cost me $15 each at the Albury tip. And everyone kept saying, you need a map. I said, I don't need a bloody map. I was brought up in Tokemore, and my hometown is Tokemore, and I was, I'm just going to follow the Murray River. Where do you expect me to end up, in Kakadu? Anyway, luckily, the day we were heading off from Noriel Park in Albury, my wife turned up with a map. Thank God, because there was 12 locks. We had to go through 12. This is our first lock in the early days. You can see it was 40 degrees heat, and Keith's got it. And I let him ask all the dumb questions. And Keith's busily tying it up there, and he calls this lockmaster, really grumpy lockmaster. He said, hey, mate. He said, mate, come over here. Look, he said, we've never been in a lock before. And this lockmaster comes over, and he said, are you sure? Keith said, no, we've never been in a lock. He said, are you sure? Keith said, no, we've never been in a bloody... He said, I didn't think so. He said, if you tie up there, you're going to be hanging 3 metres in the air. And Keith said, well, what happens when the gates open? Do we go out with a big whoosh? You know, we did not have a bloody clue. You know, we would have been hanging right up there. We would not have made it to South Australia without a map. There was clay banks, there was mud banks, there was rock stream, there was dead end stream. You know, you can't drift your way to success. You can't drift your way to a better business. You need a plan, you need maps, you need goals. You cannot drift your way to, you cannot. We're promoting Lifeline here. Shit happens, call Lifeline. Because Lifeline's there, because Beechworth Bakery's up the top too. But yeah, shit happens, call Lifeline. Yeah, you cannot drift your way. We would not have made it without a map. We would not. Every day my bakers have got to get out of their comfort zone and come out and see where the money is. This is where the bloody money is, out in the bloody shop. So, well, they're so shit scared they come in 2s and 3s. Talk about taking a risk. Barry here, at 69 years of age, asked could he do a 4-year apprenticeship. He's just turned 71, starting his 3rd year. Hope he makes it. Hire for attitude, train for skill. Hire for will and train for skill. Hire people that are willing to learn. Hire people that are willing to do that little bit. Hire for will and train for skill. Some people are old at 28. Some people aren't old at 88. Don't let an old person in. Don't let an old... The essence of all growth is that willingness to learn. The essence of all, be willing to learn. Be willing to bloody learn. Productivity. Nothing worthwhile is ever achieved without that collective spark of enthusiasm. These business people who check out my business, they say to me, Tom, your staff are so good, so good. What do you look for when you employ your staff? I said, long legs, big personalities. Big personalities. You animal. Enthusiasm. If your heart's in it, the sky's the limit. Get in there, boots and all, 100%. Enthusiasm. It's like measles and mumps, highly contagious. Look, if you're not getting what you want out of life, check your bloody level of enthusiasm. If you're not living a life you want, check your level of enthusiasm. That's a secret ingredient. I could go home now, but Alistair said you're a bit slow here, so we're going well. He got me to cut half the shit out. He did. He said, Tom, cut it out. We've got to be out of here. He said, we got all these other spirits. So I'm going well. The more I give in my community, the more I get. The more I give at home, the more I get. Maybe I should give more at home. But I got to push the brand. Always push that bloody brand. Leaders celebrate. You get what you celebrate. What are you famous for? How have you increased product? Talk about celebration. See this lady in the red top there? That's my speaking agent, and she's 50 today. How about that? Lisa, how about that? And she's my guest. How about that? And this Sheila here, she said, if you go 1 minute over, she said, I've got to go to tennis. She said, I got better things to do than sit here and, anyway, put up with Alice's sick jokes. But anyway, you get what you celebrate. What are you famous for? Leaders celebrate. Bloody hell. This at the Melbourne show. I am no celebrity chef. They get me along there for a bloody low. This is our Harvest Festival. Very hard to be a hero in your own town. This is Tony Abbott. I said, Tony, here's a real bike for you. Here's a real bike. How about that, bloody hell? You got to keep peddling. You got to keep pushing. What are you famous for? People say, I haven't got time to get involved with Eat Breakfast. I haven't got time to get involved. I haven't got time to push the brand. You got to push that. It's not lack of time. It is lack of focus. It is lack of priority. We've all got 24 hours in a day. It's not lack of time. It's just lack of priority and lack of focus. St. Patrick's Day, kiss me, I'm Irish, green bread. Look, I don't have a problem with new ideas. I have a problem with old ones. My head is so full of bloody old ideas, there's no room for the new one. I got to get rid of the old ideas to make room for the new one. This is a kids' day. Staff didn't mind this one. No one knew who they were. Look, if you're not determined to stand out, your bloody history. There's so many Me Too products, Me Too businesses, Me Too. If you're not determined, utterly, totally determined to get out of your comfort zone and do that little bit extra, your bloody history. There's no excitement in being average. There's no excitement in being bloody average. Smile and the world smiles with you. Now, we don't get many international visitors in Beechworth, but when we do, we know that everyone smiles in the same language. The most important thing you can wear is your expression. If you're happy, tell your face if you're happy. Take a bloody wrist smile. I know it's a risk for. That's my first wife. I wear them out. At least she's smiling. I tell you, your day goes away, the corner of your mouth goes. Your day goes away, the corner of your mouth. Take a bloody wrist smile. It won't cost you nothing, you lousy bugger. Anyway, Goal setting is the strongest force in the world of human motivation. When I started to write down my goals and date them, changed my life, dramatically changed my life. That momentum, once you're moving in the directions of your goals, nothing can stop you. And goals are just dreams with a date. But I tell you what, they're not on paper, they're not on this planet. I've got to tell you, goals do not matter if you're going nowhere. Go somewhere, put them on bloody paper, get that momentum and go somewhere. Oh, thank God I'm nearly finished. I know where I'm up to. This bloody Alistair said, cut that out, cut that out. You know, we opened up a bakery in Hillsville in the Yarra Valley, and about a few years ago, not that long ago, and we asked the Federal Minister for Small Business and Tourism, the Federal Minister, Fran Bailey, would she open our bakery? And the Federal Minister said, yes, Tom, I will. Me mate said, how do you get the bloody Federal Minister to open up your pissy little bakery? How much did it cost you? I said, I'd give her a cup of coffee and a few cakes. They said, how do you get her there? I said, I just asked. And that's often what we don't do. We just don't often ask. I need help. I need a hand. Our pride and our ego stops us for asking for help. Pride is tasteless, odourless, sizeless, yet we can't swallow it. You want something? Ask for it. You want something? Ask. How profound, how profound. You want something, ask for it. But the greatest sin is sitting on your bum. And look at you, look at you. You know, if it's to be, it's up to me. No, it's not. It's up to Julie. It's up to head office. It's up to, we're up there. We're all out there waiting for some other bugger to do it for. If it's to be, it's up to me. I am bloody responsible. I am responsible. Yeah. Tomorrow's success begins today. And you've only got so many tomorrows left. Don't waste them. Don't wait till you're bloody organised. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Don't wait till you're bloody organised. But what if tomorrow's success begins today? And what is success? You know, I've been wrote up on Family Business Australia in front on lots of magazines, and you know, what is success on TV shows? What is success? You know, I was brought up in poverty. That was my home. Mum, Dad, and the 5 kids. The 7 of us all slept in that tent together there. Dirt floors, no electricity. There's a little asbestos sheeted kitchen, dirt floor. No, the 7 of us couldn't fit in the kitchen together. No bathroom when we got a bit smelly. The nuns would wash us. Good fun when we got to high school. Ooh, no, that's a fantasy. No, that's a fantasy, don't you? Yeah. I wasn't there for very long, but I ended up getting the big 2-story house on the beach and the Jag and the Land Cruiser, and I ended up sticking a loaded gun in my mouth. So what is success for me today? Success for me today is being a good husband and a good father. Just love them. Just love them. Don't judge them. Don't check them out on Facebook. Just love them. Just love them. Today, success for me today, being a good grandfather. Just love them, spoil them, stir them up, and hand them back. Adios. Unconditional love, just love them. Today's success for me today is having peace of mind. I used to go to work every day with a football of fear in my guts and a can of worms going up here worrying about next week, next year, God, next budget, God. Without peace of mind, there's no success in my life. No success. We talk about kangaroos in the back paddock, that football of fear, oh God. But what is success for Tom O'Toole? Success for me today is being able to live the life the way I choose. And I choose to be a baker in rural Australia. That is success for me. I don't know what success is for you. I wouldn't have a bloody clue. But whatever it is, climb as high as you can dream. Look at this guy playing with his phone. Oh, no, playing with himself, sorry. Climb as high as you can dream. Climb as high as you can dream. Oh, God, you see lots of things. I see somebody getting a bit of a feel up there before. Anyway, we live in a bloody, I forget, you've lost me, bloody Italian. Anyway, a lot of people say it's my product. A lot of people say it's my product. I tell you what, that's a perfect. I've even got some recipe books out the front there if anyone wants to buy them, but I've got no secret herbs and spices. A lot of people say it's my market. I tell you what, you can have the best product and the best marketing, but without good people, I am rat shit. They're my biggest asset, also my biggest cost, so I've got to make sure they're well trained. 5% technology, 95% psychology and attitude. Like I said, you can buy coffee and cake from anywhere. Why buy from my place? Because of these buggers. They're my biggest investors. They invest their time, their energy, their imagination into the Beechworth bakery. And now I've got more of the buggers, heads on them like bloody mice. My future depends on well-trained, passionate, committed people. My future depends. I get by with a little help from my friends. It's all about people. It's all about product. It's all about partnership. It's all about passion. Together, we are better. None of us talk about sexual harassment. That guy's grabbed me on the arse there. I got 2 more to go. People can alter their lives by altering their attitude. It's all about attitude. And action, like ready, aim. Ready, aim. Ready, aim. Bullshit. Ready, aim. Fire. Ready, aim. Fire. Not ready, aim. Ready, aim. All the knowledge in the world, not with your pinch of cow dung, unless you're willing to get off your bum and have a go. People can alter their lives by altering their attitude. Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your past has been. Every one of us has a clean future. You know, you can starve to death by reading a cookbook. You need that action. You need that commitment. You know, all the praying, all the preaching, all the talking, all the debating just won't do it. Words are just words until we choose to live them. You can starve to death by reading you need that action, you need that discipline, you need that commitment. You can starve. This is my last one. I do have another 747 stories. Attitudes are contagious. I have a front door. I am in business. Attitudes are contagious. Are yours worth catching? You know, there's always a better way. The future's right here. You're it. The future's right here. I tell you what. The believers in this life pick up the prizes. Have a belief in your brand. Have a belief in your team. Have a belief in yourself. The believers in this life pick up the prizes. And I believe the best is yet to come. If I didn't believe the best is yet to come, I wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. Look, have a nice day and a nice feather, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much.
Was he good? Yeah. Hang on a minute. Hey, Tom. We can all do it, right? Righto. That was fantastic. A couple of great quotes in there. I loved it when he said, I'm a servant and I'm proud of it. I'm a servant and I love it. And the other great one was when he says to his staff, you're not making 200 pies, you're making one pie 200 times. I reckon that was a great quote too. Fantastic, Tom, and just put your hands together for him one more time. It was very fantastic.